One of the things that I think about a lot as I consume the media is what makes a good spokesperson. I'm always struck when I meet people or when I see people and they deliver their message compellingly and they're also effective. That always makes me think, what are the mechanics that helps a person to deliver a message and to be an effective spokesperson? So based on my 20 plus years experience in public relations, I want to share with you what I found. First and foremost, a good spokesperson understands who their audience is. They are very clear on who their audience is, what their audience needs, what their audience needs to hear from them, and they deliver. A good spokesperson also has done their research on the person who is interviewing them. They know the reporter or the producer's proclivities. They understand the questions that the reporter may ask. They've done their research. A good spokesperson also stays on message. So regardless of where they are, they understand the message that they should deliver and they don't deviate. That means that they use every question as an opportunity to deliver their message. If they have to pivot to ensure that their message is heard, they pivot. A good spokesperson communicates effectively. They share information and they're relatable. That means that when you're watching them, you find something in them that resonates with your life. You're drawn to them. You want to hear what they have to say. You're more likely to give them the time and the space to communicate. A good spokesperson is able to adjust based on the needs of the audience, the interviewer, or the political climate. They also walk into conversations and they avoid jargon. I'm sure you know the people who they like to use all the big acronyms, and maybe that makes them feel special, or maybe they're just so out of sync with what the average person needs. That's not a good spokesperson. A good spokesperson uses plain language. They avoid jargon because they're more focused on understanding. They want their audience to understand and to receive what they're saying. The next thing I want to share is a good spokesperson has strong body language. Their body language invites you in and encourages you to keep listening. They're appropriately dressed for the context. That means that regardless of where they are not going to stand out based on what they're wearing. So they dressed according to the context and also according to their brand. A good spokesperson understands what's happening in the world around them and how that relates to their particular interview. Sometimes when we go into interviews, we expect to talk about one thing, but we fail to anticipate all the other things that are happening around us and how those might impact the interview or the discussion. A good spokesperson is always scanning the environment. They're always mindful of what's happening and how that impacts them and others. And so as you think about what it takes to be a good spokesperson, I want to challenge you to improve, to constantly commit to improving. This means that after every interview, you're watching the interview, you're paying attention to the feedback that you receive, and you're identifying one thing that you can work on improving. I don't want you to be overwhelmed by, coming up with a long list, but focus on one thing that you can do. And for a period of time, that is your only, that's where you're putting your energy. And then when you master or you excel at that point, you move on to the next opportunity or you move on to the next area. I don't expect any of us to be perfect, but with practice, we can become the best spokespersons possible. I hope you'll take my challenge and join me on the ride.